Hello class, hello students, homeschoolers, virtual school. We are so glad to invite you to our lesson about amazing water lilies. And we are learning today how to draw a beautiful water lily using paper plates that we have cut out. And easy way to cut out a paper plate is just to cut it in half and then cut out some excess by doing a triangles in the middle for the flower, just like this, and curling the leaf around for the lily pad. Okay, so that is our how we did that. But we are going to get to this part where we're coloring today, and I am going to show you how we are going to color and shade while I read a story about the Claude Monet Magical Garden. And it's about a painter. You guessed it. The painter's name is Claude Monet. And while I'm reading, you can listen to the story. And I'm also going to color with you. So let's get started. What we're going to use is we are going to be using some crayons or chalk pastels. If you have just crayons at home, just go ahead and use your crayons. Alternatively, you can use markers. And gathered our supplies, and some students got markers, and some got pencils and crayons. And don't forget to write your name on the back. Also on the front, we're gonna write it twice. So my example, I'm gonna say Miss Kramer. Go ahead and write your own name, and your class code is AL2. I am going to also write my name somewhere artistically, like a artistic signature, maybe on the petal. So I'm going to make Miss K, that's my artistic signature. And now at this time, we are going to get started. So just remember, we are going to be coloring our petals by shading. So the darkest color of green should be on the edges. That's the darkest, and the lightest should be where the light is hitting it in the middle. That's how we shade. The lightest part is in the middle. The darkest part is on the edges. Same thing here. You can see the shading how I did it here. On the edges, I'll put the darker pink or magenta or purple. And in the middle, I will put the very nice light pink or even orange or some light color or even yellow. And I'm going to go faster because I'm going to be reading, but you're going to slow down and you're not going to do scribbles. You're going to try to color very, very nicely because these are going to go on a board in the office for a very special occasion. So these are going to be part of our bulletin board decor. Okay, you're going to finish that while I start reading now. Okay, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to finish mine off the camera while I read to you the story. Okay, we're going to start now. The story starts. We open the book. Claude Monet, Magical Garden. Magical Garden of Claude Monet. I wish we had a garden, said Julie. Julie is my daughter. She looked down at the drab river, which ran through the city. Even Louis, the greyhound dog, was bored with being inside. As soon as I have finished this painting, said Julie's mom, that would be me, I'll take you on a journey to the most wonderful garden in the world. It belongs to my old friend, the painter, Claude Monet. They took a big black train beside the twisting river, far out of the city, and into a countryside. Into the countryside. Here is Julie's mom, and here's Julie. And this is their dog, Greyhound dog. Then Louis began to run down the hill and into the lane where huge walls stood around a mysterious garden. Stop, Louis, called Julie. But it was too late. Louis had gone. Julie didn't know what to do. She got down on her hands and knees and wriggled inside. One day, these tiny seedlings will grow into big flowers. But a gardener has to be very patient, just like a painter. Then Julie realized, "You are Claude Monet," she gasped. "Yes," laughed the old man, "I am Claude Monet." And here is a drawing. We can see all parts of the flower, roots, leaves, stems, and maybe even flowers. They're not there yet. Together they search for Louis along the shady path, deeper and deeper into the magical garden, until it seemed as if they had left the real world behind. They're traveling through the garden together. Under the willow, Julie saw Monet umbrella, just like a white mushroom. And there was Louis. He had a blue nose, a purple ear, and one green paw. One naughty dog, shouted Julie. You have walked all over Mr. Monet's paints. Louis got in trouble painting. He has a green paw and a blue nose. I think your dog wants to be a painter, laughed Monet. Look, he made a picture too. Then Julie saw Monet's paintings, laid it out in the sun to dry. And there is the painting that she saw of water lilies, hydrangea flowers, clouds floating on the mirror pond, as well as field of haystacks, a row wispy poplars painting, and a little Japanese bridge. The brush marks glowed like flowers in the garden. And this style that Claude Monet is painting with is called Impressionism. Let's read along what happened next. They turned a handle on the rickety gate and stepped inside. It was a garden inside of a garden. A wild, wet, watery garden where willows bowed over a silent pool. Here we can see all our beautiful water lilies. Together they crossed the green bridge. And now it opens up. And this was their wheel, and these are Claude Monet beautiful water lily pads and a water lily. We are making our own. And here is the continuing of the story. When they rode across the pond, it felt like floating. Mr. Monet's painting. Inside of Mr. Monet's painting. And here we go. When they were rowing across the pond, it felt like being inside of Mr. Monet's painter's paintings. He really loved his beautiful water lilies. He looked at them all the time. Julie heard a splash of oars and birds calling in the trees. All around them, little sparkles like a midnight sky. When they reached the very middle of the pool, Monet stretched into the dark water and pulled out one flower with his hands still wet. The biggest lily of all, as bright as a silver star. A little present from a water garden, he said. They walked back toward the house, and Monet pushed open a huge studio door. Here is my biggest idea of all, he said proudly. I am trying to pick the most enormous water garden in the whole wide world. In the world, when you stand in the middle, you will feel as if you have dived into a pool. Around his whole studio, in circles, there were paintings of water lilies. It looked like he was surrounded by beautiful water garden. It will be amazing, said Julie. For a moment, Monet looked sad. But to tell you the truth, I wonder if I will ever finish, he said. I am old now, and my eyesight is so bad, it got bad. Julie thought for a moment. You will need to be very patient, she said, like a gardener. Yes, he smiled, just like gardener. Then Claude Monet pulled out his big watch. 6 o'clock precisely, he said. Time to eat. Waiting in the yellow dining room, surrounded by pictures from Japan, Mrs. Monet and Julie's mother. Here are your little runaways, said Monet. They were sitting down. Okay? So, from Jeanette, Mrs. Monet and Julie's mother were sitting down. Sat. Then it was time to leave. Monet walked with them as far as the river. Louis, the groundhog dog, was there too. He was with them. Louis wanted to say goodbye too, but as they jumped up, Julie's beautiful lily went flying into the river, and she lost her lily. Oh, Louis, shouted Julie. That was a special water lily. They took the train back to the city, and even Louis was tired. Look at that sunset from Monet's painting with a little boat there. The garden seemed like a distant dream. They got back to the city. But in the middle of the night, Julie heard Louis whining to go outside. She tiptoed through the apartment. Beneath the balcony, something was sparkling on the river. Julie ran outside and stretched into the dark water. She pulled out the lily, as bright as a silver star. Perhaps it's a little present from the water garden, she whispered. And the city slept, and as the city slept, she breathed in the sweet smell of the magic garden of Claude Monet. Look at that beautiful picture. And I believe that's the end. And here we have a picture of real Claude Monet and how he looks like. And Claude Monet was born in 1840 and lived all his life along the river Seine. It's spelled S-E-I-N-E, the river. He always preferred to paint outdoors and often described as father of Impressionism. And we'll learn about Claude Monet a little bit more. Now is your turn to finish up your water lily. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to finish with you. And I'm going to ask some students to show me what they drew. Okay, I'm going to share with you some artwork. Here is one. And it's Aliana's very beautiful work. Give her a big round of applause. And this one is Katie. Give her a round of applause. Here we have a beautiful shading, nice shading. The darkest colors are on the sides from Uriel. Here we have one by Diego. No name, no fame, no name. Here we have one by Isaiah. Here we have one by Yesenia. Here we have one by Liam. Here we have one by Ralph. Here we have one by Anderson. Some students use pencils. Some students use crayons. No name. Just a smiley and sad face. This one is Camilla. Another Isaiah. We have two. And this one is two-sided. And I'm going to try to see your name. Your turn to create your beautiful art. Students, are you excited to finish our water lilies next time? And do more? Say yay! I can hear you.